Minasan, okarinasai. Today I'm going to recap everything that the D4DJ and RevStar Light Seiyuu were up to this year. I will cover every girl from the main 6 DJ units and some of the Kukugumi aside from Aimi, Ayase Ito, Saichi, and Aiba, as they will all be in the Bandori Seiyuu recap video. And I've already covered Memori in the Love Live video. Also, Amita will be in the Bandori video, but I'll quickly say that she stepped down as Ibuki Nijima, and we'll find out who the new Seiyuu is a little bit later in this video. I wrote this script mostly in December, so I may end up saying next year a lot. If I do, just know I mean that this year of 2023. Some Seiyuu will have 1 or 2 things, while others might have 5 or more. I'll mostly cover new anime roles, CDs, lives, photo books, and stuff like that. With the anime roles, I may miss some since I'll only be using my anime list as a reference, and I'll be trying to check their Twitters as well. Now there's a lot of Seiyuu to go over, so buckle up, there will be timestamps down below. First up, things that involve multiple ladies. Haruki, Mamura, and Momoyo did a reading drama for Love and Lies, which is a pretty good anime. Next up, all of the Hibiki girls, Ruka, Yuzuki, Amane, Nishio, and Tsumugi. All of them were part of the Hibiki Fest in the summer. Basically every Hibiki girl was there except for Mamori since she was carrying a child. I'm sure you can find that live very easily on the other video website. The next thing is an Ani-song talk show, as well as having the Seiyuu pick a song to sing. Masayoshi Oishi and Ari Suzuki's Ani-song cover show. This year they had Hinata Sato, Haromare, and Ryona Kato, but also some Bandori girls like Aina Aiba, Haruka Kuro, and Riko Kohara. But again, I'll talk about them in more detail in the next video. Also, all of these videos are in an Ani-song cover playlist that I made here on the channel. The last thing is that Hinata, Teru, and Maho from RevStar were all part of the Joyu project, which is a really cool warrior photo shoot. Actually, there's one more thing to go over. I did just briefly mention Haru Moe, which is Haruki Iwata and Moike Koizumi's fairy tale themed Seiyuu unit. They had their first album, It's a Small World release, which included the recently marketed song Happy Candy March. Also their 3rd and 4th singles, Arabian Utopian and Futari Pinocchio. Utopian did technically come out in 2021, but it was like at the end of December. And Pinocchio was used as the ending theme for a show called My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex. They also had their first live tour along with some smaller events. They even went to Nintendo Land together. And March 8th of 2023 will be their new mini-album, Villains Impress. Now onto the Seiyus individually, with the face of D4DJ, Yuka Nishio. She was the character Lamia in Somehow I've Gotten Stronger when I improved my farm-related skills. Unfortunately, she was tested positive for COVID at the end of April, having to miss a Morphonica performance. On a more positive note, she did a fashion collab with Kingsley Mask. She had Kagami on her Nico program for some gaming and karaoke, singing one of the best Bleach openings. There were a few Cardfight Vanguard events. She was part of a poker tournament, and she did a Linabelle cosplay, who was a Disney character that was introduced at Shanghai Disneyland, for those who are unaware. There were also some Rebirth for You events, and she joined Project B Idol, voicing Yoran. She also started a YouTube last year and was fairly active on it, well up until the end of the year where she was really busy with Mandori and D4DJ, but I'm sure she'll be very active again this year. This year, she will be Elise McLean in the Fruit of Evolution's 2nd season. Next is Haruka Mimura. She started a TikTok page, and she has a photo book DVD release in like a week or so. This woman, oh my, I think she wins. Sumire has been dethroned. She had some stage stuff, 2 Assault Lily performances, and something new she's been tweeting about a lot, Project Amethos. There was also a stage version of Gegege no Kitaro. Then she had some Rebirth for You events and some Cardfight Vanguard events as well. Karen Kagami got a new lead role of Urara in Cardfight Vanguard Will Dress. She also voiced this character in English, just like with her D4DJ character. And she was in the final episode of Love Live Nijigasaki's 2nd season as a foreigner speaking English. She did a fashion collaboration with Geki Rock, and she had some Cardfight Vanguard events, one being at the Comic Fiesta in Malaysia. There were plenty of others though. I'm not sure if she's the face of the franchise right now or an ambassador or something, but she's like always at the events, and that's just really cool for her. Also, look at the extremely cute face she has. Holy. She was also at the Bushiroad Trading Card Game Fest and had some solo DJ events throughout the year. I guess the only other thing to mention is that she attended a concert for the pop group Bish. Shoutouts to their Black Clover and Fairy Tail openings. Really good songs. Oh, she was also at Yuki's solo live too. Next is Maiko Irie, debuting into the world of voice acting this year by taking over the role of Rei Tugetsu in Happy Around. She is a very talented pianist who posts a lot of music on her Twitter. Show her some love. She has even performed with Happy Ara already at the Bushiroad Fest and seems to have formed a very strong bond with fellow member Mimura-san. Actually, I guess I should clarify, she does have voice work experience in Magia Record, but only in the game. The next season of D4DJ will be her debut into animation. Like with Kagami, Maikone also had a fashion collab with Geki Rock. Also, just like I said, she's in Magia Record, so she was part of the Magia Day event as well. She actually posted a lot of Magia stuff throughout the year. She seems to be a very big fan. Next up is Kana Nanaki, who is in a very similar situation. She debuted into D4DJ by taking over the role of Ibuki in Photon Maiden. She has not yet performed live, but she is in the game, and her vocals are in the most recent mini-album. She isn't new to entertainment work, however. She was already part of Revue Starlight, and because of this, now all 4 maidens are RevStar alumni. But I do think this is her debut into voice acting and anime, and hopefully it helps her get more roles in the future. She is very beautiful, a very strong singer, and she's got some muscle, let me tell you. Speaking of RevStar, she was at all of the Idol live events that I mentioned in the prior video, having 5 or so shows this year. I'm sure the past month and the next few months will be her training to get caught up with the rest of Photon Maiden. Aside from this, she had a few other stage plays. Most of them I am unfamiliar with, aside from Persona 5, where she portrayed Makoto, the best girl. And there is actually one more big one. She was Karin Uzumaki in a Naruto stage play. The last thing for her is that she was gonna have a fan meet in October, but it got cancelled. Not sure why though, I couldn't translate the picture note that she posted. Hinata, like with the other Pro Sakai girls, voiced her character in animation form in the chibi version, Petite Sakai. She was also Chikumi in My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex, the same show where her good friends Harumoe sang the ending. Something pretty big for her was that she joined the Pretty Derby franchise as KS Miracle, already having events dressed up as the character, and she will have lives as her very soon in a month or so. Another pretty big thing for her was that she graduated university. She had a handful of Project Sakai live events and was in a live action movie called Edit Spirit Deleted. Seems to be a horror movie judging by that insane cover. She had a fashion collab with the company Moe's Forest label, and she started to voice the virtual host Ai Hiromare for the J Entertainment YouTube video. Someone else used to voice this character, but for reasons I am unaware of, they do not anymore. And as of July 30th, 2022, Hinata began voicing her. She even interviewed herself on an episode back in September, with a lot of it being in English. She was also in the Rever Sing stage, which you can actually find here on the tube. Some other random stuff to go over about her, since she is one of my favorites, I pay very close attention. She basically binged all of One Piece, always posting about it on her Twitter. She also spent a lot of time at the gym, which she also posted a lot about. But finally, the most important thing, after half a year of trying to get that official Twitter checkmark, she woke up one morning to see that she had it. And nowadays, any random person can buy one. Great. Well, let's move on to my favorite girl ever. Haruki Iwata was in the stage play for Collar Malice, as the same role Moika was last year. Also being in a play called Zipping Candy, where her and Teru were like sisters or twins or something, and a musical for the game Piofare no Bancho. The last stage is one called Shoujo Bungaku and Geki, The Return of the Queen, which also had Hinata, but for some reason they didn't take any photos together. Early in the year, she had a Rebirth for You event, along with a bunch of Assault Lily shows, also a few Lily broadcasts throughout the year. Haru and Takagi were special guests at the Anime Festival Asia Singapore, representing D4DJ. She opened her very own Instagram account, where Momoyo was the first person she followed for the first whole day, and it seems Moyo is also her Instagram sensei. Finally, keeping up with Moyo, her greatest moment of the year was terrifying Momoyo's cat to the point where he still hasn't recovered, and he always looks like he is terrified. Risa Sumagi got the new role of Jisordo in The Smile of an Ars Notoria. She was also Enu in My Master Has No Tail. She was featured in the Love Megane magazine, a magazine that shows off ladies in glasses, alongside fellow Photon Maiden Hinata and some Aqua ladies Keen and Footy. She started a cooking show on Cookpad Live on August 24th. Hey, that's my birthday. Not too much else to say about her. I'll mention some Hibiki events with her beloved Hikaru Tono, and a little play for an old story called Travel Lagos. She had a couple DJ events as Choo Choo, and a couple of Salt Lily performances, but the big thing, she got married to composer Yuki Honda in mid-October. Congrats to her. Moving on to Peaky P-Key with Reo Karachi, she debuted into Yatogame-chan as Kina. Then she voiced Shiho in the Idol Busho movie and performed with them live. You should definitely be keeping your eye on this franchise in 2023, it should be very eventful for them. Her alongside Nishio had a little photo shoot with Seiyuu Tomo Photo. I strongly suggest following its Twitter, by the way, so you can see lovely photos of your favorite Seiyuu. She was the main character in a River City Girls stage play, but they actually had to cancel the current show because of the virus. New shows will be sometime this year, they may have already been announced. She had a solo event where she tried DJing for the very first time. She was also a guest at a Geki Rock live event. She did a reading drama for Sekkei Q. I think this is an original IP. Or not, I don't know, it was hard to find any information about it. But she does look amazing, and this is her last fact, so we are moving on to Moika Koizumi. Moipi reprised her role in Odd Taxi, and she had a Bloom Into You stage play, as well as a stage for My Next Life as a Villainess, playing Mari. Actually, it's with an English accent, so Mary. There was also a stage play for an old movie called The Most Terrible Time in My Life. Our new Photon Maiden Kananaki was in it as well. And she was also in a stage called Hamamike. Alongside her lifetime partner Hinata, they had a little event where they performed their Dino Show song, which is a banger by the way, and it was a crossover event with Dialogue Plus member Nene Hieda and Sayumi Suzushiro. This was with their Coral Mike radio show. Day 2 of Niji's 4th live was actually on her birthday, so that's pretty cool. And finally, shoutouts to the Amuse video where she was imitating Pokemon. This year, in March, she will have the long-awaited photo book. Buckle up for that one. Miyu Takagi was Shinobu in Healer Girl. And like I said with Haruchan, Takagi was at the Anime Fest in Singapore, representing D4DJ. She did a fashion collab with the brand Neath. She had a few Tokyo 6 events, and yeah, not much else to say about her. She was at all of the D4DJ events this year, but also a bunch of the DJ times as well. Like basically all of them actually, and I think she's always at all of the Battle Time events too. But like with Hinata, she's one of my favorites, so I have some other random things to say. First, that she attended one of Aqua's 6 live shows. She showed some love for Haru Moe, and she dyed her hair like 4 different colors throughout the whole year. And just like the last few, let's end with something funny. Shoutouts to her German suplexing Yochio. Brock Lesnar would be proud. This year, she will have the lead role of Lucia in Season 2 of In Another World with My Smartphone. Riona Kato, like I said earlier, was a guest on Masayoshi and Airi's Annie song cover show, one of the more recent guests in fact. She had herself a regular fan meet and then an online fan meet, a stage for the play Kokuhaku, also a Road 59 event for the first time in like a year. Like with Takagi, she was at many DJ time events, and she was also fairly active on her YouTube channel as well. Her last thing to mention is that she was in a live action movie called Unconscious, as the character Rei Sakuraba. Sunko, like always, showed off her amazing breasts, had some wicked cosplays, and was at a lot of DJ time events as well. She had a stage for the show Kimi-sen. She was part of an event called Respect for Geeks, as well as DJing at C Anime. Maybe it's pronounced Kaname, but I think it's a C Anime. And she even showed up to a Poppypa Live to show support for Saichi. Finally, she did her first ever voiceover narration for an animated commercial for the Kato Sangyo company. There actually might have been more stuff, but her Twitter cuts off in April, so if she did anything prior to that, I can't see it. Haruno Momoyo took a hiatus from D4DJ starting in October until the end of 2022 due to an unspecified illness, so she had to miss the special Mermaid Rondo Live and the Bushiroad Fest. She did have a D-Side Tormere event in the summer, which will have been her last one since the game is shutting down. She was at the Ungeki 4th Anniversary Live, and she had a few DJ Time and Battle Time events where she beat up Sunko. Moving on to Mermaid with Ainigishi, she started a TikTok page, and she did a fashion collab with Geki Rock. She also did a lot of action acting lessons this year, posting some of her lessons to Twitter. She had herself a calendar book, and this year she will have her 3rd photo book, A Binding Love. I think I forgot to mention this in the Mermaid section of the last video, but the whole group released a photo book in 2022 called After Party. Himari Hazuki was in Teppen, voicing Hina. She had herself a couple rebirth events, and she was in the stage version of Gegege no Gitaro. She was part of a Star Marie reading drama event, Star Marie being a J-pop group. She's not part of the group herself, she was just a guest. And Himari-chan opened up her own fan site called Himari Garden. Mei Okada made an appearance at Himari's fan club event, and actually at Mei's own event, Himari was a guest as well. Really cool of them. She also had a Road 59 event, and like Himari, she was in the Gegege no Gitaro stage. And like Riona, she was in a stage called Kokuhaku. Finally, she just had a whole bunch of fan meets in general this year, and they really pushed her fan club this year as well. It's called Mayland, by the way. Natsumi Hirojima was very active on her YouTube and her TikTok, showing off her bike obsession. And like Sunko, she showed off her booba a lot this year. Bless. Though she's not part of AKB anymore, she actually did a singing event with some of her former group mates. And well, that's it for her. She spent most of her time with Mermaid and doing motorbike events. Moving on to Lyrical Lily, the last DJ group. Like I said with Liella in the Love Live videos, don't expect too much from these girls for the next couple of years. They are still fairly new, so it will take some time for them to fully branch out and make a name for themselves. But let's get started off with Amane, reprising her role of Megumi in Card Fight, which she will be doing again this year. But also last year, she was Ultina in the show Life with an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated into a Total Fantasy Knockout. She also debuted into Assault Lily, the stage form at least. She was also a guest at the Respect for Geeks event, great photo here. Also the Voice Actors Trick or Treat event, then some Magia Day stuff as well. Being at the Card Fight Vanguard Grand Prix with some smaller card fight events as well. She was at the Karaoke Max event with some familiar faces, and she was a guest at Anime Japan. I know I just said not to expect much, but that was a really eventful year for her. And the last thing is that she will have a photo book in 2023. That might be dangerous. As a wise man once said, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right. Hazuki Tanda, one of the prettiest girls in the world, was in Card Fight Vanguard as Himari, which she will also be reprising this year. She did a Kingsley Mask fashion collab. You see those boots? Yeah, you know what I want to say. She also had a couple of card fight events, one of which being the World Grand Prix with Mane-chan. She was a guest on the Nico show Fan Fam Fun. That is difficult to say, but she also has Mooney Club, a fan club that opened this year, I think. If not, well, she has a fan club called Mooney Club, and it had its first event at the end of August. She posted a few dance clips on her Twitter and TikTok, so go digging for those if you're interested. You can actually also find full dance videos of her on her YouTube channel. The last thing for her is that she just played dress up a lot. Cosplay, I guess, but not as characters. I actually really love to see this. If she wasn't so young, she'd be way higher on my simp list. Next is Ruka Fukagawa. She joined Revue Starlight as Ryoko Kobato, part of the Ziegfeld Institute of Music Junior Department. This meant being at those 2 live stages, but they also did a bunch of live events and streams. She appeared on the U-Deal news channel a lot, doing a variety of streams, also being at the Go Go Wonder Go Christmas event with her Ziegfeld girls. Unlike the prior 2 Lily girls, she was not at any card fight events. Instead, she was at some White Survive stuff, which is a different Bushy Road card series. Just kidding though, she was at a card fight event, though it was with all of Lyrical Lily. Her alongside some Hibiki girls did a little promotion for the fashion company She in Japan. The final thing for her is that she is currently the Groovy Mix champion among the Seiyuu, dethroning Mermaid's Ai Nagishi. On to Yuzu Moon. I don't think I mentioned it in the Lyrical Lily section of the full Bandori recap, so I'll just say it now. All 4 members were guests at the Anisong Nagoya event. And for her first thing to talk about, this started in 2021 I believe, but she has associated herself with the wrestling promotion Stardom, and I'm pretty sure she is the ring announcer. That is really cool. Another fun thing she started this year was a Nico stream with Rin Airi. It's called Orion and Yuzumoon's Dream Class, where they do a variety of stuff. She was at the White Survive Grand Prix, looking all cute and stuff. She was in a reading drama for Hakoniwa Alumni Association. And finally, she was a guest on Naomi Payton's Payton Club. And finally, we have 3 Kukugumi members. The first up being Momoyo Koyama. She reprised her role of the drama club president in Love Live Nijigasaki's 2nd season. Then a new role of Chihori in Teppen. Her alongside some other Kukugumi girls Hinata, Ayasa, and Teru, they had a RevStar event called A Session of Reminiscence. She had some Sound Orion live streams where they messed around a lot. Sound Orion is her Seiyuu unit, by the way, and they also did some live performances. The group also released a music video for their song Larme. It's one of those digest style videos. Really nice, highly recommend. She had a few Rebirth for You events, attended a Sailor Moon stage, and took pictures with their Mercury. Moyo played Mercury in her own stage back in the day. She was at a karaoke event with the AGT Fun Club, also being a guest at the Tokyo Call Cool Comedy event. Not sure if this was a stage or a reading drama, I'm thinking the latter, but it was called Reira Rakugo. Hinata and Rikopin were also there too. She was part of a reading drama called Starry City that also had Kaori Maeda, Hashi, and Miku. Like many others, she was at one of the Respect for Geeks events, and she won the Best Return Hope Radio Award. Whatever that means. And finally, lots of pictures of Ame-kun. A smooth transition into Teru Ikuta, who was a guest on Momoyo's Nico program, and was at Ayasa's birthday event with Maho. Teru-chan had a reading drama for a story called The Nameless Soldier. Also one for Dracula, Eternal Love. Pretty sure she played Mina, who is the lead role. Hell yeah. She was part of the awesome Idolmaster Cinderella Girls Twinkle Live, and also being at the Cinderella Girls 10th Anniversary Live. She had a stage for the play called Shuffle, not to be confused with the anime of the same name. This is actually why she wasn't with Kukugumi at the Bushy Road 15th event. There was a stage called Convenience Man BB, and one called Trading Life. Teru also had a fashion collab with Kingsley Mask. She's honestly one of the coolest people ever. And finally, she got married. To herself. Congratulations. The final beautiful lady of the video, Mahone, had a fashion collab with LTA. A little live stream with Haru-chan and some Stardom wrestlers. I want every single one of them to beat me up. She also had a stage play from hey, that's her name, Mahorobo Kanata. Alright, I'm keeping that in, I don't care. There was another stage for a story called Sideways. One for a show called Imu Kichi Beat, and the last one being called Last Blue. She looks really good here. But she was also a guest on Momoyo's Nico show. And finally, she went to an Avengers Expo. Nice. So that was a whole lot of stuff. Hopefully I kept it nice and simple and I didn't miss anything too important. If I did, let me know so I can highlight it for others down below. I usually don't ask for this, but if this is your first video of mine, I'd really appreciate a subscribe. I do have really big ambitions for this channel and I really want to provide everyone with English Seiyuu content. Can't really do much until that sub count goes up though. But with that, we have reached the ending. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed and learned something new. Please join me in the next one. The exact same thing, but with all of the Bandori Seiyuu. I look forward to seeing you there.